What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Jose Show. Happy Wednesday. Now, let's get into the first topic of the day. Now, let's start off with Taylor Momsen. So, Taylor Momsen's opening up about the rough side of Gossip Girl, saying people blurred the line between her and her character so much she had no choice but to quit the show. Okay, so the Pretty Reckless rocker spilled on Call Her Daddy that playing Jenny Humphrey was straight up killing her. She just wanted to ditch the drama and make music, but trying to break that contract by S4 was a nightmare of its own. Okay, so Taylor says the executives rendered her ungrateful for wanting to leave the very show that had made her so successful, but she pushed back hard and eventually the writers agreed to write her off. However, Taylor was still locked into her contract until the show ended, meaning no acting gigs until the show wrapped, but she couldn't have cared less. She was ready to chase the music instead. Okay, so, but even when her music started blowing up, Taylor said it was frustrating still being hit Gossip Girl questions left, right, and center, and for a while she thought she'd never outgrow it. Alright, so this is very insane, man, that Taylor was so going through that rough situation where she couldn't leave her acting gigs. Okay, I think that she definitely should have not gone through all of that hell where she was basically forced into staying in the acting industry, but yet again she was able to get out of the acting industry. Because here's the thing, she's somebody that has her rights. Okay, if she wants to be doing something that makes her happy, let her. Okay, don't go off and force her to be doing something that she doesn't want to do. Okay, the only thing that you are trying to do, executives, into making Taylor Momsen stay in the acting gigs is you are not just making her mad, you're also putting her in this situation where she feels so uncomfortable, she feels so betrayed, and also very hostile, and that's not okay. And it's because of those things that Taylor Momsen could have easily sued you guys, the executives, for actually forcing her into staying in the acting industry, especially on Gossip Girl. Okay, now you guys should actually put yourselves in her shoes, because I believe that if you guys were to actually be in the music industry instead of being in the acting industry, I believe that you guys would definitely leave the acting industry, especially that show, the Gossip Girl show, and focus on the singing, focus on the music, especially because Taylor Momsen was wanting already to impress her fans with music, and she was already wanting to tell her own story about her own life with her lyrics and her own music, and she was wanting to do shows for the fans and so forth. And at the end of the day, making music really grows an artist in so many ways, and I think that is what you guys were definitely preventing her from doing, is from growing as an artist, and that's definitely unfair. So in my personal opinion, I mean, you guys aren't really the people that are really helping her. You guys are actually the people that are actually very unfair, very about yourselves and so forth, especially because I believe that the reason to why the executives wanted Taylor Momsen to stay on Gossip Girl and to stay in the acting industry was because I believe it benefited you guys so much, because you guys knew that Taylor Momsen is a big name and that she is super popular. But at the end of the day, there are many other artists that you guys can hire in that show after writing her off. I mean, come on now. So this is just so darn weird and ridiculous, and also, like I said, very unfair. Wow. But anywho, I'm glad that Taylor Momsen was able to get her exit granted from that show, and that she was able to get into the music industry like she wanted to, even though she had a really rough time getting out of that acting industry and getting into the music industry. Okay, so at least she found that light outside of that dark tunnel after all. Okay, now on to the next topic. So Cristiano Ronaldo has a garage that would make a car museum drool, but the international soccer superstar recently revealed his luxury whips are just for show cause he doesn't drive them. So the AI, or the Al Nasser striker, explained his stance on transportation in an interview on Piers Morgan's Uncensored this week, claiming spending millions and millions on high-end vehicles is an investment just like an art collection or other interests. Okay, so when asked if he ever takes them for a spin, CR7 said that's not the point. 3 weeks ago, I buy a car. Ronaldo said that is for collection. It's like you buy a frame. I'm not going to drive that car. It's like investment. Okay, so he went on to admit he has no idea how many cars he actually owns, but guessed about 40 or so. So as for his favorites in the lineup, he said the Bugattis hold the biggest place in his heart as they're different beasts. Okay, so Ronaldo's so removed from his cars, he even revealed when he was recently in Madrid, he didn't even look to see if they were there. So for me, the cars is not anymore a passion, according to him. Okay, so CR7 does drive from time to time, though just not at his current spot in Saudi Arabia, chalking that up to traffic being a nightmare in the area. So there's a lot more from the sit down. Ronaldo also discussed how he proposed to his fiancée Georgina and said she hopes to have a small ceremony when they exchange I do's. Okay, so this is all according to TMZ. So this is really insane that Cristiano Ronaldo has a bunch of cars in his garage and he doesn't make a use of most of them. I mean, it's really cool that he has a bunch of cars, don't get me wrong, because I mean, hey, it's really nice having to have a lot of nice cars, especially cars that really do work so well and stuff like that. But if you're not going to be making a big use of most of those cars, then why have them, bro? They are just taking up a bunch of your space in your damn garage. I mean, maybe his garage is really huge, but still it's be taking a bunch of space because, I mean, we're talking about 40 cars. The man should at least have maybe 4 or 5 cars because I'm sure that with those 4 or 5 cars, he will be able to actually use them a lot. Okay? And also, I think that it can be very dangerous too for him to be having a bunch of cars at the same time, because God forbid that he gets broken into by some cuckoo person and then that cuckoo person ends up doing something to all of these cars because these cars are worth so much money, and God forbid that these cars even have his valuable items inside. So that's the thing. Okay, and then I think that it's a really good investment, yes, that he has those vehicles because, I mean, hey, he's making money at the end of the day, I guess, because it's like an art collection, just like he said, or of other interests. But the thing is that yet again, it be taking up way too much space in his garage, though. I mean, it's just too much. I mean, he can be investing in different things that is not going to be taking up his own property and that is not going to be a danger for him. I'm just making suggestions here. Okay, I'm just making really good suggestions. But if Ronaldo wants to keep up with these car investments, then that's on him. I mean, hey, okay. But anywho, and I am surprised that Cristiano Ronaldo is still not married to this woman that he's dating. I thought that he was already married to her because I noticed that he already has kids with her and he's been with her for a while and that he's been happy with her and so forth. I don't know. I guess the guy has been way too busy to be marrying her, that he's been thinking about other things. And I mean, that's fine because, I mean, at the end of the day, he's a very busy soccer player and he's the one and only legend, Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay. But anywho, I think that it's really cool, and it's really cool that he has a really nice family and he has a really beautiful wife and he has a really beautiful personality, and of course he is able to maintain that circle really well, you know, and he's one of the very few that is actually able to keep that circle really well in a family, because unfortunately I have heard with other families that they just don't work out all that well well, they are just, fighting and dramatic, and they're just doing a bunch of crazy things that is just so darn weird. It's so darn ridiculous. But anywho, congrats, I guess, to this man for having a bunch of cars. But I mean, like I said, I think that this guy needs to really be careful with having a bunch of cars. I'm just saying. Okay, now on to the next topic. So Kim Kardashian, ladies and gentlemen, recently confessed that she uses ChatGPT for her own law tests. So while taking Vanity Fair's infamous lie detector test dictated by her Allsfair co-star Teyana Taylor, Kim admitted to using ChatGPT to help her studies, but it's not a ringing endorsement. So apparently, she confessed, I use it for legal advice, so when I need to know the answer to a question, I'll take a picture and snap it and put it in there. So while technically cheating, it's been to no avail. She claims it's always wrong. It has made me fail tests all the time, she complained, and then I'll get mad and I'll yell at it. So according to Kim Kardashian, OpenAI needs to do better because she's leaning to them to really help me. Okay, so this is really insane, ladies and gentlemen, that this woman is over here using ChatGPT for her own studies because ChatGPT is not perfect, and Kim Kardashian should have known that a long time ago. Instead of cheating through ChatGPT, what she needs to do is she needs to study her ass off, because studying really makes a really good difference, because all of the answers are in a book. All of the answers are on reliable sources, period. Okay? But the woman, I believe, is too lazy to be studying, that she is going off depending on ChatGPT for her own needs. And she is, basically that type of person that has all of the time of the world to be studying anyways, because she is a rich woman that doesn't work at all, I believe. I mean, yeah, she has her own reality show, The Kardashians, and maybe she has a few things here and there, but I mean, she yet again has a lot of free time, because I believe that at the end of the day, she doesn't really do that stuff 24/7, especially because she's, a rich woman. She's Kim Kardashian. So, I mean, Kim K, please. I don't think it's hard to be using a book and reading off of the book and then studying especially off of the book. Please. And if I were you, girl, I would so seek a tutor, or I would so seek somebody from Harvard University to help you out with these tests, because those people, they know so much about law in order to get you to succeed, okay? Like, I don't think that on the day that you end up getting a job as a lawyer, or you end up getting a job as something that has to do with the law field, you are going to be depending on ChatGPT for all of those things. Because if you're going to be depending on ChatGPT, then it's going to put you at risk, because like I said, ChatGPT is all about the imperfections, just like we human beings are, that it's going to be putting you at risk at your own job, just like it is putting you at risk with your own test already. You need to really look at it that way, okay? So that is my advice for you, homegirl. It ain't no shade. I'm just being real, okay? But anyways, Kanye West is definitely going to laugh at you if you're going to be saying something stupid from ChatGPT in the near future, and you're going to be like, oh, well, ChatGPT told me this. I mean, it's this and this. Nah. You do not want to be a laughing stock, especially from that man. Okay, so anywho, Kim, do better. Now on to the next topic. So last night were the elections, and man, the Democrats got to sweep big time, ladies and gentlemen. Abigail Spanberger got to win for being the first female governor of Virginia. Okay, and Jay Jones got to win for Attorney General over in Virginia. And then Mamdani, I believe, won for New York City Mayor. And then I believe that someone named Ali got to win for New Jersey governor, and many other Democrats got to win at last night's elections. It is so darn awesome that we are seeing a sweep in the Democratic Party, because we've been needing a sweep in the Democratic Party because we have been going through so much throughout the past 10 months now that the Republican Party has been dominating everything, unfortunately, with all of these ridiculousnesses of the government shutdown, the economical decline, and so forth. And I think that now it's so darn awesome that we are definitely seeing that little by little we are getting back to that field where more and more Democrats are going to be in office. And I believe that because of this we're going to be seeing a really positive impact on the midterms next year, because on the midterms next year we're going to be definitely seeing, in my personal opinion, that more Democrats are going to be dominating in that election. We're going to be seeing Democrats dominate the House and the Senate now that we are seeing the huge improvement from last night. And I definitely believe that we're going to be seeing a Democrat be the president in 2028 as well. So that's definitely going to be a good sign, in my opinion, if that ends up happening, because I believe that if that ends up happening, then I think that we are gonna, finally get our country back on its feet. We're finally gonna get, more opportunities job-wise. We're gonna get more economical it's going to be an economical uplift for our country. It's going to be, a huge fairness for our country. It's going to be huge equality for our country. It's going to be huge a progressive way of getting our country forward in general. So that's the reason to why I really am happy about the huge triumph from the Democrats last night at the elections, and I am so happy to all of the people that ended up voting. I am so darn happy. See, this is a reason to why every vote counts and every vote makes a darn difference, and man, did it make a difference last night at the elections. Congratulations to all of the Democrats that ended up winning. This is awesome. All right, now that is it for today's show, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's lovely episode of the Jose Show. Till next time, and peace.